One of the greats said, we must learn how to eat to live and not to live to eat. Jano.
A new culture that benefits all of us.
Mm-hmm.
So we either need to revamp or create the culture, or we need to find our ancient culture that worked for us, and we need to start implementing that right now. Because right now, as a people, not as individuals, because as individuals, a lot of us is good, we well off. But
Yep.
as a collective, man, we are failing, man.
What should we eat? What should we put in our bodies?
Food that is conducive to the body, food that gives you energy, food that eliminates all the toxins, food that hydrates the body, food that give you all the minerals that you need, especially trace minerals, food that give you all the macronutrients that you need, food that replaces the amino acids that's in your body. If you look at what true food is and you look at our physiology, we are naturally frugivores. And how you can do this is all you have to do is go into nature. You don't have to pick up a book, because you can say man wrote the book, man lied. I can agree with that. So that somebody can have a great debate with that. But you can't fake nature. Go into nature, look what you closely assimilate with. We closely assimilate with primates, gorillas. That's what we closely, not saying that we come from that. I don't believe in the evolution theory or the evolution theory. That's what I call it. I don't believe in that at all. I do believe people have come from primates, but I don't believe that people is black people.
Yeah.
And I can prove that too. But if you go into nature and you look at actual nature, you're going to see who you closely assimilate with. You're going to see the actual primate, the silverback gorillas. They look like us. They can walk upright. They have 5 fingers. They have 5 toes. Their digestive process is the closest to ours than any other species in the animal kingdom. They breed like us. They have sex like us. They communicate like us. Some of them can even fucking talk.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah, yeah.
You can teach them how to speak and respond to you. If you look at what they eat, these are big silverback gorillas with a bunch of protein mass. Some of the most muscular, strongest primates in the kingdom of the animal kingdom. And they don't eat meat.
I never thought about that.
Peace up to the Artist Journal family. Wherever you guys might be in the world, I want to say top of the day, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to another episode here on the platform. If you haven't yet, if you're here for the first time, guys, welcome to the platform. If you haven't been to Africa, welcome. We're in a beautiful country called Nairobi, Kenya. And today, I want to talk about a subject that's dear to me, and that's being a plant-based vegan. I only use the term vegan for those that are familiar with the culture. So, the necessity. Actually, before we get into it, please go ahead and hit that like, share, and subscribe to the platform. We're going to be chopping it up just a little bit today. As we move around, it seems like people are intrigued that Jessica and I, we are plant based and we only consume fresh fruits, vegetables, herbs, teas, and of course, our coffee. So a lot of people are wondering, like, yo, Kenya, Africa, like, how do you do that? Where the majority of people on the continent consume animal, animal and animal byproducts. You get a lot of goat, beef, chicken, of course, fish, and these are the main staples that I would say that I see people consuming, right? But throughout my years, throughout my research and being affiliated with a beautiful community out of Dimona, Israel, they taught us that the most optimal diet is in the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verses 29. And it talks about how that God created us from the soil of the earth, the dust of the earth, and we are to replenish our bodies, our cells, our internal organs with that which we are made from. We come from the soil, and we're supposed to be consuming plants and herbs of the field, right? So Genesis 1 and 29, let me read it verbatim for you guys. This is the first book of the Bible, Genesis 1 and 29. I wasn't even prepared for that, but I'm going to read it for you guys. And it says, "And God said, Behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in the which of the fruit of the tree," right? Hold on one second, family. "Which is upon the face of all of the earth, and every tree in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed, to you it shall be for meat." So the community told us that your diabetes, your cancers, um, hypertension, high cholesterol, high blood, all of these things come from consuming processed food, sugar, um, foods that doesn't have a high electrical or alkaline. There's a term or word for you family if you haven't heard of it. It's called alkaline. It alkalinity measures the electrical component of a food or a fruit or a vegetable. So we are to consume these things is another thing called photosynthesis, right? Is when the transference of energy or electricity slash, like I said, power or energy from the sun transfers through the fruit or the vegetation. So when you consume it, you thus you're it's like you're consuming an element of the sun. Photosynth- Photosynthesis. I don't know why I'm getting tripped up over that word, but it's very important that we have a high diet of fruits, vegetables, and herbs. You've never heard, or it's rare, that you would find someone that's in a state of homeostasis, right? Everything is functioning on all cylinders. They are doing the right things. They're getting out into the sun. They're exercising. They're eating a high plant based diet. It's rare that you would find that they're dying from ailments that is plaguing the world right now. You know, from the big C word to diabetes to hypertension, high cholesterol. All of these things come from eating foods that's killing us. You know, you see on the thumbnail I had up there, KFC, right? There's a lot of controversy surrounding KFC. A lot of people say like they changed the naming of Kentucky Fried Chicken to abbreviated version of that KFC simply because they was not selling the people real chicken. Now I know that's a controversial topic and it's up for debate. You can do some research on it. I'm not going to dig into it today. I really just want to come on here and talk about how it's very doable to maintain a plant based diet here in Kenya or Africa as a whole, and the necessity and how essential it is for our people to do just that, to eat your most optimal fruits, berries, melons, your herbs, your teas. And Dr. Curtis, if you're watching, you know what I'm talking about, Dr. Curtis. So these things you cannot go wrong with, family. And especially a place like Kenya, Nairobi, for instance, or Mombasa, you have all of the best fruits that I've seen on planet Earth. You have the soursop, the sugar apple, sugar cane, mangoes, avocados the size of two softballs. Like it, you're not short of exotic fruits here. You have fruits here that, let's say, if you had stage 4 cancer, there's research and there's actual testimonials of people being told that they have 2 3 weeks to live, and they literally go on a diet of nothing but seeded grapes, right? Or soursop for 2 to 3 months. Go back to the hospital or their doctor. They can't find a trace of cancer or any other ailment, because you have to understand that cancer thrives off of a starchy, sugar based diet. You understand, family? So, food isn't just items that you throw in your mouth that taste good. They vary from salty to crunchy to salty. You know what I mean? And because it tastes good, oh, I'm gonna eat it. There's a trade-off. Because you get your stomach full doesn't mean you're healthy. You can easily look up years later and you have damaged your body in so many ways that's unimaginable. But because we haven't tapped into, like Yaki was saying, into the ancient systems, ways of living, getting back to the old paths. As the scriptures say, that's where you find true life and living, in the old paths. So that's why I said in the thumbnail, family, KFC, we can do better, because we can. The days for making transition off of diabetes is over. Off of these big C word diseases should be over. It's some things that we must implement. And I'm talking from experience, because my beloved mother transitioned from 2 forms of cancer. So that's when myself and my family took a deep dive into learning what this disease is, what causes it, and it's a lot. You can do all of the right things, family, and still, because we're in such a toxic environment, there's pollutants everywhere, there's chemicals, there's trace elements in the air, there's heavy metals being pushed out into the atmosphere. So you can do all the right things and still contract an ailment. But I would rather fight than to just lay down. You understand what I'm saying, fam? So when I say that we can do better, Kenya has a host of fruits and plants and herbs that we can prepare. And there's numerous chefs and food gurus, and YouTube is a beautiful university to find all of the information that can help us on our journey. There's nowhere on the planet in 2025 that we just lack in information, because we're not. You understand, fam? So I pray that you guys enjoyed today's video. Just a little informative video. Wanted to check in with the family. I wanted to share one of the young brothers that I follow, Yaki, is doing excellent work in St. Louis. Excellent work. He is one of the ones that I tune into. His platform is Yaki Awakened. And I'll put that in the description so you can go on to his platform and give him a follow. He's doing great work. He has a healing retreat in St. Louis, so you can actually go there if you're in the States and get your situation worked out. So I see people, doing videos, food reviews, and things like that. And this is not a jab at them, but it's more of a video that I wanted to raise the vibration and the level of consciousness of our people. Because, sometimes we forget. Sometimes we forget. So pray that you guys love today's video. Please go ahead and hit that like, share, and subscribe for me. This is your brother Samal here. Y'all already know. You know the vibes. Tuning out just to tune back in. Auntie Marva, Auntie Creasy, we tuning out. Until next time. Peace out, man.